Dude, I've said it 1,000 times. Athleticism is cheating. It's cheating. That's why I love my
fucking
boy
good
Bilal
cheating.
Muhammad.
All right, welcome to another episode to Fight Fans, where we talk about all things in combat sports. I'm one fight fan, Colin.
And I'm the other Stuart.
And, well, we have a fight this weekend.
Oh, we've got more than a fight, Colin. We got some kind of stuff going on.
We've got more announcements that have been coming out, so...
Yeah, that's true. But I will say this fight card this coming weekend, I think, is better than the one next weekend. Although, I know you're all hot and bothered for the main event of next weekend, which is Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree Jr.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to the depth of the card, this one's a little bit better.
Sure, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little, just a smidge, a teens. And we've got fight announcements as well.
Do
we want to cover off on those fight announcements, those rumors, those things? I don't know. What do you want to talk about? This is a pretty loosey-goosey episode.
Yeah.
We're kind of like Joanna Pena striking. We're just a couple of gooses running around honking to our heart's content.
Just doing whatever right now.
Just doing whatever, man.
Yeah, well, okay, why don't we just preview really quickly the fight card that's happening this weekend in Atlanta. Oh, I didn't realize that's what was happening. But yeah. In Atlanta. Stu, are there any fights here that you are excited for, that you want to see, that you're gonna watch? What's the deal?
God, there's about 3 fights I'm gonna watch, probably.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe 4.
Okay,
but at least
okay.
3. Number 1, the curtain jerker, Jamie Lynn Horth, out of Squamish, about 30 minutes north of where I'm at, and currently under a state of emergency due to a wildfire. So shout outs to Squamish. Stay safe, everyone. A real, in my backyard fighter. She is a minus 600 favorite to Vanessa Demopoulos. And it's Canada versus the United States. So I'm happy to watch Canada kick shit out of the United States. So I'll be watching Jamie Lynn Horth because we stan Jamie Lynn Horth on this podcast. What will that fight look like? It's women's flyweight, man. It's gonna be not great, but I will watch it because that's that.
A true
fan. Now we were gonna have Charles Jourdain against Ricky Simón, which is an awesome fight, I thought. And then Charles Jourdain was not cleared medically to fight Ricky Simón, which, dude, if you can't get cleared medically in Georgia, I don't know where you can get cleared. So
wait, what happened?
I don't know. Something happened. He said some scans came back. Is that a brain scan? Is that his appendix burst? Who's to say? All I know is that fight is off. Now it's Ricky Simón, Cameron Smotherman.
It says due to injury.
It says due to injury, but it was he had, I think, tweeted or blue skied or whatever the fuck. He had communicated to the masses some sort of, something came up on my scan, and so therefore I can't do the thing. Anyway, so who gives a shit about that? I am slightly interested, and you tell me if you're interested. Cody Garbrandt versus Hani Barcelos.
I don't know anything about Hani Barcelos.
What are you talking about?
Have we seen him fight?
Bro, Hani Barcelos has been here since the beginning of time. Hani Barcelos is like 99 years old.
Yeah,
he's been in UFC since like UFC 2. Let's see.
Oh, he's the one who beat Peyton Talbot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I knew we talked about him recently.
Yeah, Hani Barcelos, 38 years old. Motherfucker's been fighting the UFC since 2018.
Yeah,
you know about this guy. Yeah, we know Hani Barcelos. He lost to Timur Valiev. He lost to Victor Henry, Umar Nurmagomedov, Tyler Phillips. Yeah, but he's beaten Peyton Talbot, beaten Trevin Jones, beaten Saeed Nurmagomedov, Chris Gutierrez, Kurt Hollabaugh. I'm kind of interested in this fight because basically whoever loses this fight has no more career in the UFC.
Okay.
And you and I were there when Cody Garbrandt beat Dominic Cruz. We watched that in a Buffalo Wild Wings, I believe, in the town of Lafayette or Orinda. Uh,
Did we?
California?
Wow. Yeah.
Yes, because this was the Ronda Rousey Amanda Nunes fight card.
Oh
Um,
shit.
yes. And we were amazed that Cody Garbrandt was able to style on Dominic Cruz. And then basically every fight after that, like much like Cyndi Lauper was a one and done like superstar with girls just want to have fun, Cody Garbrandt doing the robot on Dominic Cruz was a one and done sort of like superstar thing. Because he has done basically fuck all since then, except lose or win against like totally washed people. Hani Barcelos is 38, but seems to never age. He was just born at the age of 38 and has remained a 38-year-old man for the past 38 years. It's pretty impressive. So that's kind of interesting, especially because Hani Barcelos, I don't think will fall into the classic Cody Garbrandt trap of going, oh man, I really got to punch this guy because he's so annoying. And then you swing and miss because Cody Garbrandt, for all of his deficiencies, dude can see a punch coming and has wicked reflexes. Um, so kind of interested in that, mostly because of like the nostalgia factor, because Cody Garbrandt has been around since I think 2014, 2015, and Hani Barcelos 2018. So as a old school fight fan, I'm like, all right, I'll watch these two jabronis fight, especially if Cody Garbrandt loses. He does have like a new Joker tattoo or like thing across his eye, which is kind of cool. It's not
Oh.
cool, but you know, there you go. Are you interested in that fight at all? Does
Yeah, I mean, it
that get any
is.
blood moving through your body?
I mean, well, how old is Cody Garbrandt now? Like,
Dude, I think he's
he's
younger
only
than
30.
us.
Yeah, he's only 33. Damn.
Yeah, dude, he's younger than us. Shit's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. I thought he was also like older too. I thought he was like his mid late 30s, but
No,
whoops.
I mean, you look into his eyes, and that looks like a man who's lived 100 lifetimes. Getting knocked out, I don't know, like 12 times by the same left hook, that'll do that to someone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal.
So those two fights, right? I'm kind of watching the Jamie Lynn Horth just because local girl, gotta support. And then the Cody Garbrandt kind of by like macabre what's gonna happen, because probably someone is gonna die. It's gonna be Cody Garbrandt or it's going to be Honey Barcelos. Honey Barcelos will either get nuked or Cody Garbrandt will get left hooked into the land of wind and ghosts or just get choked out. I don't give a shit about Edmund Shahbazi and Andre Petrosky. Don't talk to me about that fight. Rose Namajunas, Miranda Maverick. Colin, are you interested in that fight at all?
Uh I have liked Rose fighting, so I've watched a lot of her fights, so I'll watch it. I don't know much about Miranda Maverick. Oh, she beat Jamie Lynn Horth in her last one at the end of
Hey,
last year.
we don't talk about that shit. We don't talk about that shit. Let's talk about Miranda Maverick really quick.
Yeah,
And
give
then
me the
you
lowdown.
give me your uneducated pick. This is
Great,
your uneducated hypothesis.
great, love
Miranda
it.
Maverick is extremely physical. Miranda Maverick has a ton of great gifts in all areas. She is strong. She is tenacious. She is fast. She is durable. Miranda Maverick doesn't know what the word strategy means. She never seems to enter a fight going like, I understand what I should do here. I should be trying to get into the clinch to take someone down, or I should be staying away and peppering with shots. Miranda Maverick is just like, I'm here. Let's see what happens. Kind of like a Labrador retriever. She doesn't quite know
Okay.
what's going on, but she's just psyched to be here, man. Is that the style to beat Rose Namajunas in your mind?
Okay. So when you started off saying like extremely physical, strong, durable, like that is something that's good against Rose because
Yeah.
Rose does sometimes like to have uh it has shown to get like when she gets pulled into that kind of stuff to not always have the best responses. But she's also pretty tactical. And if you don't really have a game plan for Rose, I don't really see that turning out super well for you either. So
Now, to give a counterpoint here, not that I disagree with you, because I think that's pretty spot on. Rose's last fight was against Aaron Blanchfield, and Aaron Blanchfield just basically went, I'm gonna just try to out wrestle you,
Mhm.
and then when you strike with me, I'm just gonna disengage. Wasn't super well schooled,
Yep.
um, but it did beat Rose Namajunas.
That's true. Rose
So,
has also been kind of like I don't know, her last few fights have not been as impressive. you know?
No. I mean, dare we say she's on the beginning, like, the beginning track of being washed? Yeah, like, I think so. Like, maybe she'll be a fun action fighter, but who
Yeah,
to say? Not me.
yeah.
But it's interesting because this will kind of tell us, this will be a great litmus test for Rose overall.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even if, let's say, she is super washed, maybe it's just like very clear, like, oh man, like your best days are past you. It's not happening anymore. Um, if she's still able to beat Miranda Maverick, like you're still beating someone in the top 15 in this division and like a young up and comer, no matter how unschooled they are. So like she
Mhm.
can still situate herself into a position where, and it's women's flyweight, man. 2 wins in a row and you basically get a title shot. She can fight towards title contention whether she wins or loses. And if Miranda Maverick wins, like beating Rose Namajunas is still no small feat. Like only very skilled, like or only very, what do you want to say? Like excelling fighters beat
Mhm.
Rose. Like no scrub beats
Sure.
Rose.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so that's kind of interesting. Now here's another thing too. She she still has Pat Barry as her head coach. She got rid of Trevor Whitman. Colin, not to diverge entirely into an insane thing, but like there's a lot of women's MMA fighters who their coach is their husband or boyfriend.
Yep.
Would you recommend this?
No.
Like, is it just a cost saving measure? So you don't have to pay your coach? Like
Dude,
what's going
I
on
don't
here, man?
know. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, the people who can do that, like, props to them. Like, to have that separation of, like, for lack of a better term, church and state, I guess. Like, but I don't know. It makes it really difficult, especially when, like, you know, fighting is such an emotional thing.
Yeah.
And I just it's really hard for me to like see people doing to go into a fight objectively and to be able to say the things that like okay, the relationship between coach and fighter is a very unique one. And
Mhm.
as a fighter, you have to be willing to hear the hard things from your coach. And as a
Yeah.
coach, you have to be willing to have difficult and make difficult decisions, that you can't allow personal feelings to get in the way of those things.
Mhm.
Um, and when you mix in like a romantic relationship with it, that I feel like that makes it very potentially very messy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that,
It's
that
not
that's my thought of that.
yeah. It's not great. It's like I don't know. I don't want to get weird into it, especially because like Pat Barry met her when he was like 25 and she was 17, getting into weird territory. But like, man, I think more fighters could benefit from not having romantic relationships with their coaches,
Yeah.
regardless of gender, regardless of like sexual identity. That's that's what I think. Anyway, so I'm slightly interested in this fight overall.
Okay.
Uh, and then we've got the Glue Factory fight. We've got Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Colin, without looking it up, how many years has it been since Kamaru Usman had a win, and who was it over?
Oh. Well, hasn't he fought? The last time he fought was 2023, right?
Yes.
And he lost that fight, right?
Yes.
He's lost his last 3 fights, right?
Yes.
So that would mean his last win was what, 2022?
Okay, and do the math for me. How long ago was that?
Okay, yeah, 3 years ago, but, like, I
Yeah.
don't even remember who was his last win against?
It was actually 4 years ago,
Oh,
and it
no.
it was against Colby Covington.
I was wondering if that was what it was. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
the terrible Colby Covington rematch in which he still got nearly dropped. Um, yeah, Kamaru Usman has not won a fight. His last 2 wins are Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
These are not great wins at this moment in time. Um, so Kamaru Usman was very good, but like, who knows where he's at? Um, And then Joaquin Buckley has proven to be a standout employee of the Glue Factory, because his previous wins are against Colby Covington, Wonderboy Thompson, and Vicente Luque, like all old ass fucking men. And then before that, you had Morono and Fialio, like two old, super unathletic men. So Joaquin Buckley has just kind of decided, hey, I'm big and athletic and scary, and I can kill old men. That's his whole MO. So the question is, of the old men, Kamaru Usman is undeniably the best. Is Joaquin Buckley's performance in the Glue Factory good enough to beat Kamaru Usman? I suppose we should talk about that a little bit, Colin. What do you think?
I don't know, man. Like, I didn't realize it's been that long since Kamaru Usman has had a win and not just a
Yeah.
fight. Which is kind of depressing. Because I like
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman.
Now, he did beat Leon Edwards for the first 4 minutes or the first 24 minutes and 50 seconds of their second fight, which would mean that had he not gotten head kicked out of nowhere, he would have had a win 3 years ago. But besides that, yeah, he's not really looked great.
Yeah, not great.
No, not at all.
But Joaquin
Actually
Buckley has
bad.
also shown like incredible inconsistency as well. So
Yes. No, I would argue Joaquin Buckley's not a very good fighter. Like, he's not very good. He's killing a bunch of old men, which surprisingly, like, welterweight has suddenly become this thing where all these young fighters are coming through and kind of like burning all the old brush out of the division, while the rest of the UFC seems to be just kind of bogged down by old man fighters. But Joaquin Buckley is not the like dynamic, Jack Della Maddalena or Shavkat Rakhmonov. Like, he is a okay fighter who just seems to be capitalizing on being super athletic and being able to kill an old man because of that. But 2 questions I'll ask. Well, 3. Number 1, is it more important to have brains or to have knees? Because that's a dynamic at play here. Kamaru Usman basically has no knees. I believe in a podcast he said recently he can't even speed walk on concrete because his knees are so shot. So that's not great. He's got some mobility issues overall.
Yeah.
Which you don't want to have mobility issues as a human and be a professional athlete. Like, that's not great. Unless you're like a power lifter and you're like, I'm just doing bench. Like, then it's okay, right? Or like, I'm just trying to deadlift this shit for 2 reps and then I can go nap for a year. You don't really want to have mobility issues. Joaquin Buckley seems to like not understand fighting really in any kind of major way and doesn't really have any game plan or strategy. So, it's kind of a who's to say?
It's so weird to say that because he's also like, I feel like at times he's also shown like decent like potential,
Sure.
like, and like weird athleticism, which like should take him pretty far. But
Well, I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, remember the Wonderboy Thompson fight? I was adamant that Wonderboy Thompson would fight circles around him, and I said the only way Buckley will get him is if he just explodes across distance super athletically and catches Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And for fucking 2.5 rounds, Wonderboy Thompson fought circles around Buckley until Buckley decided, what if I just acted like an athlete and then sprinted across open space and nuked Thompson? Like, that's he lost 2 rounds. He was on his way to lose the fight. It was only after 3 minutes in round 3 that he was like, what if I just try to like leap at him and punch him in the face? And then he did it so fast that Thompson could not get out of the way and he killed him. Like, so he has that, right? He has donkey brains, but also like he's the world's worst driver in a fucking like Lamborghini, right? The dude can fucking like he can still get to 200 in under like 10 seconds. Like he can do it. But is that enough against arguably one of the top 5 best welterweights of all time?
I mean, but also like you said, a welterweight who currently has no knees has
Yeah.
been on a layoff for 2 years, and
And I
yeah, it's just
can't emphasize, he legitimately has no knees. He has zero cartilage in his knees. So it's just bone on bone, which is not what you want. Sounds sexy, but it's not. It's bad. It's
yeah.
actually very bad. Yeah. Um, Another question I'll ask. When was the last time Kamaru Usman fought just a like very athletic striker? Can you
Hmm.
think of a time when he fought an athletic striker?
Um, like strictly striker or just any striker?
I guess like any striker or like somebody who like it fits the archetype of like this is someone who is just like a striker who relies on athleticism.
Huh.
Because I don't think there's been a time where he's fought an athletic striker. He fought Colby Covington, who is definitely not a striker, but who also went tit for tat for him in the striking. Leon Edwards, who I would not like label as somebody who relies on his overall athleticism and striking to win.
Hmm.
Jorge Masvidal, who is a good striker, but not like a one-punch KO threat or like hyper athlete. Gilbert Burns, who does have KO power, but is primarily a BJJ player. And now we're getting back to like, you know, Rafael dos Anjos, Damian Maia, Emil Meek. I don't know if Kamaru Usman's ever fought sort of this archetype that Joaquin Buckley is, which is just hyper athlete who can smash hard, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I,
Ah, how do you feel about him going up against that matchup?
I that's the thing. If the hyper athlete comes out, not great.
Yeah,
If tentative donkey brains, Walking Buckley comes out, more of a chance. Like,
that's true. That's true. He's got 5 rounds to at least try to be the hyper athlete.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so, I think I'll be surprised if Kamaru Usman comes away with a win here.
I
Um,
would be very surprised too. I
yeah,
don't really see anything really going his way for that.
yeah. I could see him like winning 4 rounds and then just getting detonated in the 5th.
Mhm.
Like just like Wonder Boy, like I could see that. Especially because like Joaquin Buckley in his last fight did out wrestle Colby Covington. So he's at least got in his donkey brain mind that advantage over Kamaru Usman, which it's probably legitimate too because he has knees and Kamaru Usman doesn't have knees. And for anyone who's never wrestled before, having knees is like super important to wrestling. um, so yeah, like that's I don't know. I like it will be interesting to see this turnover, like because this I think will probably be the death knell of Kamaru Usman's career
Mhm.
overall. But again, like he will lose to like the least impressive specimen uh, at welterweight because I don't see Buckley beating a ton of the other people um,
In the
up
higher
like
divisions.
yeah like up in this because who else do we have? Bilal Muhammad, I wouldn't pick him to beat Sean Brady, Shavkat Rakhmonov, maybe Leon Edwards because he's beaten off another like old person, but like Ian Machado Gary, I wouldn't pick him to beat. Would I pick him against Michael Morales? Because Michael Morales also has donkey brains, but he's just huge and super athletic. I don't know. They should fight because they've been the two exemplary glue factory employees, right? Like Michael Morales absolutely destroyed Gilbert Burns, and Joaquin Buckley just keeps beating old men. So like they need to like fight for employee of the month overall.
You just
Yeah.
calling like old fighters being sent to the glue factory recently is just like fucking killing me, man. Like,
Dude, that's exactly what it is, right? And like that's what you need. You need okay, hold on. And it's not just like because I have to take it back. Ayman Zahabi does not work at the glue factory. He tried, but we had to let him go because the point of the glue factory is to prove to an old fighter you don't got it anymore, right? Like for the safety of these fighters, we need you to beat them so fucking bad that they have like they decide to never come back. They need to know that they're paced. And Jose Aldo already made that decision beforehand and then still basically almost beat Ayman Zahabi, right? You need to do what Michael Morales did to Gilbert Burns, which is show him my brother, all of your skill is useless against me because I'm younger than you, and I will kill you, right? You need to be Patty Pimblett to, like, Tony Ferguson. You need to, like, Patty Pimblett to Michael Chandler. Like, you have to prove to these old fuckers that it's time to go away. And that's very much what Walking Buckley has been doing. So I commend him for it because that's what we need. But also, it makes me a little skeptical of his resume because I go like, you've basically just been like really old dudes, and they just keep matching up against really old dudes, which is cool because they know what his assignment is. They're like, great, this is the guy who's gonna knock all these dudes out of the top 10.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though I'm pissed to see what Kamaru Usman is still number 5 despite not having won a fight in 4 years.
Wait,
You still
what?
have, yeah, Colby Covington is ranked number 9. Gilbert Burns is ranked number 10. Stephen Thompson ranked number 11. Fuck that shit, dude. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's pretty whack.
that's wild. Yeah, we gotta get some turnover because this is nuts. Um. Anyway, so I mentioned in those 4 fights because we gotta get. We need in most divisions, right? Like we gotta get some of the. I mean, heavyweight can just basically be cut. We don't need any of them. Right, like we've got fucking Jan Blachowicz still at number 5 in light heavyweight, like, and he's barely fought. Like Dom Reyes is still number 8. This is these people barely fight. And then at middleweight, it's not as bad. Welterweight's still really bad. The issue with like lightweight is that Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker still keep beating these young dudes overall.
Yeah, they're still really good. They're still the best of the division.
We keep sending them to the glue factory and they kill all the employees and walk out the other end. Like, so at least at welterweight, we've got employees that know what the fuck they're supposed to do when we send them a horse. Like, you're supposed to shoot it in the face, turn its hooves into glue. That's what we're doing. Yeah. So hopefully that's what, I mean, not hopefully, because I also like don't like Walking Buckley overall.
Why don't you like Walking Buckley?
Well, 2 things. One, I find his like fighting style infuriating because it is so based on athleticism that like he is the pinnacle of athleticism is cheating as a fighter. And I'm like, ugh. And then 2, like he just every time he opens his mouth and I hear him in an interview, which is not what I should be judging him on. I should be judging him on what is the entertainment value and skill level he brings to a fight. But he just seems like an absolute doofus. And so I'm just like, and not like a lovable doofus. Like kind of like a Andrew Tate's kind of cool. You should all like respect him. And I'm like, all right, Walking Buckley, you need to calm it down. Yeah.
So you just don't like the athletically gifted fuckers, huh?
No, man. Dude, I've said it 1,000 times. Athleticism is cheating. It's cheating. That's why I love my boy Bilal Muhammad. It's right, like,
dude, your boy Peyton Talbot is one of the most fucking athletic people out there.
I know, but he also has skill, right? If you're going to be an athletic freak, I want you to be like Kevin Gastelum. I said it last time. Real athletes know that 6-packs are for losers because real athletes don't try. They just walk around with a big flabby gut the whole time and still win. That's what athleticism is. It's not being like, ooh, I look cool and I do cool stuff. It's no, I don't even need to fucking try because I know I've got the cheat code. That's what I like in my super athletes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, and Kamaru Usman definitely is like a super athlete as well. Like that dude's got insane cardio. He's got surprising punching power for somebody who has like kind of bad mechanics when it comes to striking. The issue is he's just old and he's got no more knees. So, man, I'm pulling for him to win this fight, but I think this is going to be a Joaquin Buckley loses 15 minutes of this fight, realizes, oh, dude, what if I just did a flying spinning kick and then he'll just like crush Kamaru Usman with the insane athleticism that he has. Yeah. So those are my 4 fights. 2 of them are kind of like I'm half interested in, and then the main and co-main I'm like legitimately interested in to see kind of where these divisions go. Any fights that you're looking forward to that I didn't call out?
No, I mean, it was really just the main event and the co-main event. You know,
Yeah.
like Cody Garbrandt, like whatever. Like,
what about Michael Chiesa, Court McGee, the oldest men on the fucking like old motherfuckers fighting?
Dude, I thought that fight was gonna happen back when they were like first coming into the UFC, like 10 or 12 years ago. Like,
When did Michael Chiesa and Court McGee get into the UFC?
I
It's
think
kind of
Court McGee was like 2010.
so they both were winners of the Ultimate Fighter back when the Ultimate
Yeah,
Fighter was like a thing that still drew ratings.
yeah,
Goddamn, let's see. Michael Chiesa entered the UFC in 2012.
yeah.
13 years ago, man.
I think Court McGee was before that.
Is that right?
Let's see.
Dude, I can't.
2010. 2010, man. I
Wow.
called that 2010 exactly.
Holy shit. Dude, taking me back to my college days.
Yeah.
God damn.
I
That's
think I have a picture with Court McGee actually. I think I
oh
saw him at a
shit.
fight. Like he was just like hanging out, and I like, oh, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, of course, come here. And dude was fucking huge, but
Yeah. A weird confluence of Mormonism, MMA, and opioid addiction.
oh,
Yeah. Because I think he had OD'd and died and then came back to life. They brought him back.
oh, he
What
did.
was that?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad they're both getting paid. I hope they go gentle on each other. That's kind of my hope, right? They go like, we don't need to really hurt each other. We just could just be a grappling match, and then like right on, and then they just do that. Yeah, yeah. All right. Those are the fights coming up this weekend. Colin, you'd mentioned some sort of fight announcements or rumors or all kinds of hoopla.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you got?
Well, you sent me the first one. Your boy, our
Oh,
boy.
yes! The official boy of the Two Fight Fans podcast, Joshua Van, will be returning at UFC 317 International Fight Week for a #1 contenders fight. Manal
Yeah,
Kape is out of this fight, and he's going to be fighting Brandon Royval. Holy shit. Colin, what are your initial
yeah.
feelings, thoughts, emotions, chub level? Where are we at?
First of all, like major props to Josh Van. Like literally just fought, and admittedly he didn't get hurt that much, but he did go almost all 3 rounds. I think he got the knockout with like 20 seconds left in the last round or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
regardless, he's turning around, he's coming back, and he sees this as the opportunity that it is. Like if he beats Brandon Royval, you can make the argument that he gets the next, title challenge. If that's what he's going for, then yeah, fuck yeah, good for him, man. And the boy's got punching power, like we talked about last time. He could potentially knock out Brandon Royval, and he could do it if he does it in impressive fashion. Oh boy, flyweight's gonna be so great and so exciting.
Now, do you think he will beat Brandon Royval?
I think he's got a shot.
Okay, explain why.
Well, I mean, his striking is like the thing is, okay, Brandon Royval has really good combination work and good I guess we could say tactics when it comes to fighting, but like
Mhm.
you said before, he doesn't pose a lot of like danger with his striking. It's like he's not going to hurt a lot of people with it.
Yeah.
Uh, Josh Van hurts everybody with his striking, which is
Hell
very
yeah.
unique for the flyweight division.
Mhm.
And to train for that and to train against that is not something that a lot of these smaller fighters have done. Just because, like, why would they? No one fights that way. Um, so I think he could potentially catch Brandon Royval off guard with that, but also it's just like you have to have an answer for power. You always have to. Like anytime someone's a heavy hitter, like you have to have an answer for that. And I don't know if Royval will have the combination work or the range to necessarily negate or fluster Josh Van to preventing himself from being not being able to land those punches. Now, Josh Van has shown himself susceptible to like leg kicks and attacks, so that could be an issue,
Mhm.
but I don't see that as like I don't see that as like being such a big deterrent for him.
Got it. Like, okay. He does have the power advantage, definitely, because Royval is just leaf blower offense, right? Like it's not doing much. My thing is like Royval is very fast, and Royval's way of
Yeah,
fighting is going like I'm gonna hit you with four things in like a drive by, and then be
yeah, yeah.
10 feet away from you by the time you have the ability to counter. haven't seen Josh Van have like fast footwork or the ability to like catch someone who does a drive by on him. He really likes to
Uh,
like let's stand in the pocket and throw, right?
yeah, and he does tend to chase. He does not like
Yeah,
cut off as much, so that would
yeah.
be an issue.
Now, I don't know if I can pick my boy Josh Van. I probably will when the fight comes, but like if he loses though, what's nice is like he probably won't take a ton of damage.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're Josh Van's coach, what are you trying like knowing how he fights, right? You can't like just say like, "Oh, now we need you to be really good at footwork." Right? Because he doesn't have that.
No.
Like what are your like two big strategic approaches to trying to beat Brandon Royval? Someone who throws 900 punches that do the equal amount of damage of like 7 punches, but is always either 10 feet away from you or like right in your face for a split second.
Yeah, I think basically pushing it into the pocket and making him
Mhm.
trade there, like forcing trades there, whether it's constantly moving forward and trying to cut off even in the most rudimentary way possible where literally you're just like cutting the cage off rather than chasing and then trying to force exchanges knowing that like hey, you're going to take a shot, but if you're willing to take 2 or 3 hits to deliver one really big one, like that's an okay trade for you. In fact, that is a very favorable trade for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like it does it like push in, have that trade. Maybe like try to like dirty box or like clinch fight, like grab a hold of the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Like have something to index and hold on to while
I
you're
haven't really
punching.
seen him do that though.
No, I
So
haven't
that's
either.
so that's a totally different way to fight as well when you fight in the
Yeah.
clinch as opposed to just like I really think he just has to try to turn it into like a trading war where you're like, hey, while he sets in to throw his combinations, you just push your way through, knowing that it's not going to hurt you, and just throw a big shot. And he's basically going to be headhunting, and he's basically going to
Yeah.
be just looking for one big shot, which is not something I usually ever am like, oh, that was a good tactic. Oh, that was great. Look at how he did that. I can usually find that pretty boring and
Mhm.
like not very skilled, and I don't like it as much. But if I'm rooting for my boy Josh Van, then I don't really care how it looks as long as it gets the
Yeah.
result, you know?
Yeah, it's a challenging style matchup for him, but if he can do it, like, I'm gonna be oh, it's gonna be chef's kiss, you know,
Oh,
Maroon. It's gonna be beautiful. Um, yeah, we love that. We love this fight. Josh Fan, you're our boy. Come on to the podcast. I know you don't listen to this. Nobody listens to this podcast, but,
no.
come talk to us because I learned
How
he's
wild
only
would that be?
23.
How wild would that be if we got Josh Fan to talk to us here?
Oh, bro. I mean, he's the official boy of the podcast. He is our guy. Like we are ride or die with Josh Fan.
Yeah,
Um,
I
yeah,
like Josh
yeah,
Fan.
yeah, man, dude.
Dude,
He's
A Josh Fan versus Tatsuya Taira matchup though? Ooh, that would be
oh, it's Josh
I would
Fan all
like
day.
that.
Josh Fan all day. Well, that's why hopefully he can beat Brandon Royval and we can be done. Though, like, yeah, we got to come up with a good nickname for Josh Fan. I know he's got a nickname, but Brandon Royval is called Raw Dog, and like that's powerful energy to bring into a fight. um, but we got to figure out something. Anyway, what other fights were announced? What are we going to talk about?
What is Josh Fans? It's the
Like
Fearless.
yeah, that's pretty weak. That's weak sauce.
I don't know, man. I like that.
The Fearless. That sounds like something Vin Diesel would like give himself in a Fast and Furious movie, or he's like the Riddick is called the Fearless, and you're like, shut up, man. Like, no. And it's got nothing on the aura of Raw Dog. When you're like, my nickname is Raw Dog. Like, holy shit. That's powerful. Josh Van, I don't know what we call him. You can't call him like the like super kid or anything because he's super. I don't know. I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Let's see. I thought there was some.
Fearless. That's not good. I take it back. That's a bad one. That's a bad MMA movie title. The Fearless. Like, come on. What are you talking about? The Fearless. You want something that strikes fear into your opponent's heart, or is like catchy, or like has got like mad big dick energy. And the Fearless is none of those things, right? Like good MMA nicknames are like El Cucuy, right? For which is like the Mexican version of the boogeyman. This is good. The dentist is good as well because it like implies that you're gonna just like rip people's teeth out, and also nobody likes going to the dentist. This is also very good. Um, the janitor I kind of like, even though it's kind of a silly name because you're cleaning up the shit. That's good. Um, like things like like the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, is too try hard. You don't want that. There's too many pitbulls. Um, there can really only be one Iron for Iron Mike. Yeah, I don't know. The Axe Murderer is pretty good for Wanderlei Silva.
That was
Um,
good. Yeah.
yeah. So the Fearless, we'll workshop this, Josh. We'll figure it out for you. We'll figure it out. Anyway, what other fight announcements do we have, Colin?
I can't find the other one. I thought we had one, but
Well,
uh,
you're forgetting the big one. It has been confirmed that Netflix will be showing Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez this
oh,
September.
really?
Yes, and it
I
is
did
being
not hear
promoted by
that.
Dana White. Yes, it is
Oh,
happening. So
so
we
what
are finally
happened?
getting this super fight. I don't know. I'm sure it'll come out later. Who's to say what's happening? Um, but we are finally getting this fight. Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, September. The last interesting fight Canelo Alvarez will ever have in his entire life, if he makes it there. And possibly the last fight Terrence Crawford will ever have in his life. Um, are you excited for this fight, Colin? And what is your initial gut pick? You're allowed to change your opinion,
Yeah.
but where do you stand on June 12th at 11:59 p.m.?
I am excited for it. I I would have been more rooting for Terrence Crawford if his last fight wasn't as like meh as it was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also I just can't get excited about Canelo anymore. I used to be a huge Canelo fan. I loved him. He was fucking Mexican ginger, and like I love what he did. But just ever since, like he has not. There's been nothing entertaining about his fights now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know.
But
Do you think Terrence Crawford will bring out the best of Canelo, or do you think Canelo will just kind of do the same thing that he's been doing and just playing it safe?
well, I think he'll try to play it safe, but I don't think he'll be able to play it safe against Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence
Okay.
Crawford will pull it out of him. I think
Oh.
this fight won't be gangbusters, right? This won't be like fucking I don't know what's been an absolute slobber knocker recently. It's not going to be that, but I think this will be a competitive fight, and it will be so cool to see Canelo Alvarez finally be finished when Terrence Crawford TKOs him in the back
Oh.
3 rounds of this fight. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I think Terrence Crawford's going to take it to him, and I'm excited to see that overall.
Nice. Okay.
And it's
Okay.
on Netflix, right? We're gonna get 2 really great Netflix cards this year for boxing. We're gonna get Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano 3, and then now this Canelo Alvarez Terrence Crawford fight. Into that shit. That sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as we don't want to talk about it, we have to talk about it very, very briefly. Ariel Helwani reporting that basically within the next 2 weeks, the UFC will be announcing that John Jones, Tom Aspinall is off, and that they're stripping John Jones of the title so Tom
Oh
Aspinall can
yeah.
fight someone. What do we do? What do we do? If you're the UFC, what do you do for the next like 2 years with heavyweight? Like, what do you even do?
Ugh. Get new and better heavyweights. Like fuck it. Like just a
Where are they?
rebuilding of an entire
Where are
division.
these new and better heavyweights?
I don't fucking know, dude. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. There's just like okay, everything goes this way, and let's say Tom Aspinall like wins against Cyril Gahn, and he
Mm-hmm.
becomes the undisputed heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
You can't really build anything around him, not because Tom Aspinall isn't buildable or isn't marketable, but because there's no one to bring anything that's compelling to him. It's really John Jones, the only thing. If Francis Ngannou is really interested in re-signing with the UFC, which there are rumors that he'd be open to it, and the UFC does that, then that could be an interesting thing. But that's really it. It's like I said, there are no other heavyweights. There's no other appealing heavyweight to me right now.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so bring back your big strategy is bring back Francis Ngannou to the UFC.
Basically, yeah, it all rests on Francis Ngannou.
I think that's about right. That's like kind of as good as you can do at the moment because there is Luke Thomas has talked about this quite a bit. Like there there is like a massive talent shortage at heavyweight across MMA, not just the UFC. You
Mhm.
know, like where are the other good heavyweights? Like there's no one. Otherwise, it was Francis. But we're not saying like, oh wow, in one we have great heavyweight, or wow, in PFL we have great heavyweights. It's
Mhm.
like there's just not heavyweight fighters.
Yeah,
Um, you got to bring Francis back, right? Like you have to bring him back. Um, and the UFC, mostly because Dana White holds grudges till the end of time, won't do it, even though like Tom Aspinall versus John Jones was that was the B tier option, right? The A list option was to have Francis versus John Jones. And then like our consolation prize was to get Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. We're not getting either of them. So fuck it, let's get Francis versus Tom Aspinall.
mhm.
Other than that, maybe Alex Pereira moving up? Would that be worth it?
Yeah. I think he's too small for that.
I mean, dude, he walks around at like what, 240? Like he's big.
Yeah.
And he has that peculiar power to be taller than everyone he ever fights, no matter their height. You're right, he's always bigger. He
Yeah,
kind of, like,
yeah.
shrinks and grows as needed. Or do they just try to get a freak show fight going? Do they just try to, like, go, like, "We got fucking Dwayne Wade to come in and fight MMA," or we tried to get Tyson Fury to come in for one MMA fight or some shit, like, because that's all I can think about right now. It's like because the attraction of heavyweight is so minimal that it's
Yeah,
like basically Francis, and if you can't get him, you have to use somebody internally, which is basically Alex Pereira, or you got to just get a celebrity to come in and do like a celebrity fight, basically.
right, right.
Which is a bummer because we have Tom Aspinall, who would be great if he could fight like actual heavyweight like contenders, but he can't,
Yeah.
um, which sucks. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, or do we just do like Tom Aspinall, one fight every month, and he just beats the top 15 heavyweights, and then he can
Just
like officially,
cycles through all of them.
yeah, basically, right? Like, just fuck it, why not? Like, if he can just keep fighting, if he stays healthy and doesn't get injured, like because I mean, he's been blowing these motherfuckers out of the water. If he can we just start at number 15 and we just keep knocking them off, and then you go like, great, I cleared out the division. I am the glue factory. I killed everyone here. We fold heavyweight, and then we say like, great, we saw it. Tom Aspinall did it. The end. Um, because right, what was the mythical? Is it with 3 title defenses? No heavyweight had ever gotten 3 title defenses or more until Stipe. Like Tom
God,
Aspinall can
really?
easily get, yeah, Tom Aspinall can
Brutal.
easily get 3 title defenses or more, right? Because it's going to be Curtis Blades again, Cyril Gahn, Alexander Volkov again, like, and then what? Fucking Sergey Spivak? He'll kill him in 3 seconds. Like he could be running up the scoreboard on this division, but
Yeah.
he's been sitting around waiting for John Jones, which sucks. Um, yeah. Alrighty. Anything else?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, this weekend, as from us saying like, June is going to be full of great fights. I mean, we're really just waiting for 317 now. Like,
Well, hold on. We've got Cleo Roundtree versus Jamal Hill. You're at full mast for that fight, I
I
thought.
yeah, because I just want to see Khalil Roundtree murder Jamal Hill. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we have Rafael Fazia versus Ignacio Bonamundez, which should be a very fun fight on there. But then the rest of the card in Azerbaijan is looking a little weak.
yeah,
And then 317 will come, which will be exciting. And then I think there's one more card after that. But yeah, but we've got no boxing this month really either. We got to wait till July to start kind of like getting that kicked back into gear. Overall, yeah. So the glue factory will continue, and the UFC will keep doing what it's doing. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been Two Fight Fans podcast. I'm one Fight Fan Stewart,
I'm the other Colin.
and I don't know. kiss the old folks in your life because Joaquin Buckley is going to come through and fucking head kick them to
Oh,
death.
Jesus.
All right, everybody.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.